Now, I deleted the comment, and now I'm going to start to declare a variable here. Okay, so I'm declaring a character variable called code equals to j. Integer ID equals to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Double rate equals to 17.99. I'm just declaring different variables. Boolean full-time equals to false. String name equals to Sam Green. So I declared 4 variables of primitive types. So let me write some comments here. Primitive type variables. And string is not a primitive type. It is a reference type instance. It's an instance, not a variable. Just for, things that we talked about in the chapter as a refresher. System.out.println. If you want to simply display a variable out on the screen, you can write the name of the variable, but not in double quotes, because what you write in double quotes is a literal string. It just goes out on the screen as you write it. But here we are interested in grabbing the value. So I'm not going to put it in double quotes, exactly the same way in C#. Save the changes and run. And you will see the output, Sam Green. Now, Sam Green itself may not make a lot of sense. So we should add some kind of a label with it. So we're going to add label in double quotes. Full name. And whenever you have a literal string and a variable in the same instruction, you must always concatenate. So we are concatenating the 2 sets of information between by using a plus sign. Here, the plus sign is not used for addition, it's used for concatenation. Now, save the changes and rerun it, and you should see the output. Sam, full name, Sam Green. Notice the name's E is next to the S of Sam because I did not leave a space. So if I put a space here, supposedly a colon as a separator, then you can see that in the output as well. So the white spaces within the double quotes are understood by Java. You can put 1,000,000 spaces, it will display 1,000,000 spaces. Okay. Now, let me copy and paste this a few times, right? Because we have a lot of variables, right? So now I'll be just simply changing. So it'll be like, okay, ID. I still have not worked with full-time, right? So I will use my last instruction to teach you guys how you can put multiple variables in the same instruction. So I'm going to write it like this. Is Sam Green a full-time employee? So as you can see how I concatenated variables around or within the literal strings. If I were to declare more than one variables, I can declare them on the same line if they are of the same data type. Let's say I want to declare another variable on line number 8 called hours worked. equals to 26. So that's number of hours worked. I'm treating it as a double variable, just to show you how you can declare multiple variables on the same line. You can declare them on different lines, but there's no point. You can declare them on the same line. Now, on line number 15, after line number 15, I will display hours worked. So we have hourly rate and we have hours worked, 2 items. I'm running it to make sure that it displays. So it does display that hours worked is 26. Going back to line number 8, I am adding another variable called pay, and I'm setting it to a value of 0. This is where I will be writing my formula later on before I start displaying my outputs, just so that you can also see how arithmetic operators can be used exactly like in C#. So after I declared pay on line number 8, right above my very first output, I will write my formula. Pay is equals to rate times hours worked. So that's the formula. I wrote line number 12. So it's on the same principle that whatever happens on the right-hand side, it goes as a value to the variable on the left-hand side. Then I will display my pay right here. After hours worked, I'm displaying the pay. Don't worry about the rounding. We will learn about that maybe next week or week after. So when we start to learn about the math class and some of the other like format decimal and stuff like that. So